He coughed it up, but it goes out of bounds. They keep it.
Someone carrying around the lucky horseshoe, aren't they? If I were him, I'd go out and play the lottery after that one. A very fortunate man.
And they're operating in plus territory here. They're thinking points. Definitely don't want to lose the football at this juncture. They'll look to throw here on first down. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
But this defense is certainly organized and playing off of each other because the rush is providing pressure and the coverage is forcing incompletions and capitalizing on mistakes. When you get every level on defense hitting it once, you get first half scores just like this one.
And he will have a Steelers first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. They'll look to throw again. Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19. Now a timeout signal for him. They'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is second and long. Now here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play. But sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one. Weren't able to do so.
Boswell's kick is good. And that drops a deficit from 28 to 25. Maybe a moral victory of sorts. They're on the board here late in the first half, but this offense just hasn't looked that sharp.
Yeah, but at least they got the 3 points, right? At least have something to, quote-unquote, hang their hats on and maybe feel a little bit better about themselves as they head to the half.
So barring a touchback, this likely the final act of the half as the kick is away. Fields the squib kick right around the 30. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. The Steelers going to get the football first here, trailing on the scoreboard as we are back underway on EA Sports. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. But CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. And the Ravens are going to take possession of the football.
Partner, I see you reaching for the white flag. Put it down. I don't want you throwing it, but I understand why. Because if you do, you're hoping they might actually stop this game because we're in blowout territory right now. That interception just surrendered any momentum they built up in the locker room during halftime. So, game plan, it's in the garbage. Time to try something new in this one.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. So after the INT, here's Mahomes. This is caught. It's Christian Watson. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. A good pick up there of 20 yards. Here's Swift. A good run, 8 yards there, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Defensively, they must have been expecting a pass. They were in the dime look out there.
I think maybe they were deciding to go with speed on the field rather than bulk. I'm with you, a little bit surprising. They wanted people getting to the ball as fast as possible. The lighter, shiftier defensive backs allow you that opportunity.
That 2nd down play, that's a -4.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. And the Steelers are going to take possession here as they've got it at their own 4-yard line. Well, to be blunt, not a whole lot has gone right for this defense in this ball game, but that's something right there. Still in the 3rd quarter. It would take something around miracle territory for a comeback, but maybe that's a start, Charles.
It certainly is, and they're definitely showing that there's some fight still left in them. Hasn't been a banner day, but they're trying their best to put that disappointment behind them and find ways to make plays.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. From deep in their own territory, they look to throw. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that's caught inside the 35. And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line. Quite a show of arm strength right there. That was in the air for a long time, and it was on target, too.
And that's a rare bright spot in what's overall been a pretty poor showing so far, but you've got to figure when you're down a bunch, why not take some big shots? And they connect on that one.
He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Second and 4. And he's got his man on the out route. And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down. On the give, this is Harris. He takes us down to about the 12 for a gain of 3.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks, allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Harris going to get it again on 2nd down. He'll get this down inside the 10 for a pickup of about 3. So that time they got the left guard with a hold.
And let's face it, in today's ball, you might have that 330-pound guy you're supposed to clear out of there. You might need a little bit of extra help by grabbing the jersey and trying to ride him out.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. They'll set up to throw. And his throw is incomplete.
Well, partner, they've certainly played up to their top 10 defensive ranking this week. They've stifled this opposing offense throughout this game. This contest is now lopsided because of their efforts, and there's still a quarter to go.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. They'll look to throw here. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And the Ravens will take over here at their own 14-yard line. This defense, Charles, coming up with another interception. They have really done an excellent job of locking up these receivers.
Yeah, they're really on fire. They are actually doing what they talk about all the time, which is plastering to receivers when they're in their zones. They didn't give up a touchdown in the first half. Haven't done so here in this half either. Blanket in the field going all the way back to the opening drive, and they come up with a pick right there.
We're in Baltimore. Third quarter action, 2nd and 10. Throwing now is Mahomes. He finds his man complete. It's Dawson. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. Last play they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. On the counter, here's Williams. And he'll grab a gain of 5 out of this up to the 41-yard line.
Not a huge play, but I think they're more than happy with how it turned out. Don't be surprised to see them revisit that call because there's a lane there for more than just 5 yards. Put it in your back pocket and break it out when you need it later.
And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. He finds his man complete. It's Dawson. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Working with a 2nd and 3. He finds his man complete. It's Dawson. And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people who have to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
Mahomes now on 1st down. And he's going to drop this off to Williams, complete. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line. That's now 4 completions in a row. A good bounce back following the interception last drive.
Certainly not letting it affect him, that's for sure. And we all know interceptions are going to happen. So the big trick, don't let it affect you going forward. Most of the good quarterbacks, they just tell the ball boy, get that one out of the rotation, give me a fresh ball, and let's go. He's got his offense moving again.
They go back to the ground, this time Swift. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
7 yards there and a 1st down. The option to give to Williams here. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Ravens touchdown. Javonte Williams, his first rushing touchdown on the year. And the Ravens are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this 4th quarter lead. Tucker able to connect on the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as he just added on to that big lead. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film section in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because...
And a loose football, and the Ravens have got it.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. Now we give up the middle to Williams. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it. And the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
No gain that time, and it leaves them with 3rd and 11 coming up. Throwing is Mahomes on 3rd. And he checks this one down to Williams. And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx it.
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. We said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a... The ball comes out.
Partner, everything that happened before that fumble was great. Good vision, navigated the open field, got good chunk yardage. At that point, if you see a defender coming, though, just step out of bounds. Don't risk all you picked up before the hit to just try and get an extra yard or two.
Now left side on the swing pass. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
And a really nice play call there to start the drive, especially if you're a team that has a little bit of a reputation for throwing it downfield. You come out and you think maybe you can catch them off guard a little bit, and they did. Little screen pass, backdoored them, and that time worked well for a solid gain.
Second and 2. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. In search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. They'll get this complete to Calvin Austin. And he will have a Steelers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. They look to throw now on 1st down. And now a fumble. The ball's out, and it's picked up by the Ravens. And I don't know that that fumble is going to matter a whole lot. You look at the deficit here in the 4th. It doesn't matter. The coach on the sideline still scratching his head. Yeah, not only scratching his head, but probably writing a note or two about, we're going to address this come practice next week because maybe that's the reason we're down this far. Doesn't matter at this point, but being sloppy throughout the game, not going to help him improve. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down. And they will take a knee here.
did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for the Ravens, their good start continues as they get their record up to 4-2. And they'll have another home date next week as the Cincinnati Bengals come to town.
Yeah. Turn me up. Yeah. Hey, check it. Okay, I feel unstoppable. Losing's impossible. Go against the team, the thing they know not to do. Bright lights, game on the line. Do what I gotta do. Time after time, we do the impossible. You ain't made it till you got stylers go out and shop for you. You ain't made it till they put on top of you. Parading through the city, the whole block come out for you. We just getting started, y'all finna see what we bout to do. Boy, stop, you ain't here, I'm the real truth. Hunters, real blues, trips on them still new. Shopping at Dover Street, I'm dripping like mildew. They say you don't visit the hood, dog, I still do. A real one, only difference, my bill's bigger. I'm still with ya, I just got rich a little quicker. The same man, God handed me his game plan. I ain't perfect, far from it. What